Hello everyone, Teeny here. I'm back again to share another project with you this Sunday. And actually, we're using the Easter Sunday 12 by 12 collection pack from Photoplay Paper. Such a pretty collection. We're going to use some pattern papers in here, a few stickers. I'm also going to bring in some of the Photoplay Paper Easter Sunday Epoxy Dyes paper. There's 2 sheets in here, and what these do they coordinate with the epoxy shapes. So these are stickers, so you lay these right on top of your die cut circles, and it just creates a fabulous effect. Glossy Accents would do the same thing. Sometimes Glossy Accents or glaze and glue will go on a little bit uneven on larger surface areas. The small ones, I think, if you were to use Glossy Accents or a glaze and glue would work great, but a bigger circle takes a lot longer to dry, and it's sometimes uneven. That's the great thing about these epoxy shapes. So it's quick and easy. We're going to use these, and we're also going to be using a tag die set from Photoplay. This is the nesting tags die set. We're just going to add a tag in our background because I love doing that on my cards, and especially with pattern paper. So we're going to jump in. I'm going to pick out some pattern papers, and then we'll get started. These are the pattern papers we're going to be using today. These are actually 12 by 12 sheets. I'm going to tell you the names. We're going to be using Easter sentiments. The reverse side is filled with sentiments. The nice thing about the collection packs is you get 2 of each sheet. So tons of pattern papers. So you don't have to fight over the pattern or the Easter sentiments. I'm also going to be using the extravagant, the play on eggs extravagant, it's so cute, pattern paper. It's a yellow gingham, and I'm also going to use the Easter eggs on the reverse side, and then we're going to be using the cottontail pattern paper. This is like a tone on tone. It's really pretty. So we'll be using those 4 sheets on our card today. We're going to start with our first card. I already trimmed down some pattern papers. We're going to start by adhering a panel of our plaid paper. This measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. So it's going to leave me a little bit of a border on my card base. I'm just going to use my tape runner, and we're going to adhere this to the front of our card. Once I have this tacked down, we're going to take our Easter egg pattern paper. This measures 2 inches tall by 4 inches wide, and this is going to go straight across about 1 inch up from the bottom. We'll tack this down. And then I have 3 strips. 2 strips of pattern paper, 1 strip of white cardstock. This measures 1.5 inches wide. This is 1 inch. We're going to layer both of these together. Lovely. And then I'll take this, I'll flip this over, and we're going to adhere this about 1/2 inch to the left of our card here. We're just going to tack this straight down the middle. After we have this adhered, now what we're going to do is bring in our epoxy dyes paper. I thought a lot of fun circles in here, but I thought we put Easter straight down here on the white piece of cardstock. And this piece of cardstock is 5 inches tall, but it's 3/4 inches wide. So what we're going to do is take our dyes paper, and I'm just going to trim this away. And then I'm going to bring in the coordinating die from our epoxy shapes pack. This one happens to be the smallest. I'm going to actually take these out here. Okay, and then I will cut out each one of my letters that spell out Easter. We just line them up. There is a little bit of wiggle room, so if you don't get it perfectly straight, that's okay, because the letters are a little bit larger than the die itself. So I'll run this through and continue with the rest of my letters, and I'll be right back. Now that our letters are die cut out, we are going to spell Easter vertically, and I think I'm going to use my negative piece kind of as a guide on where to put them. I'm going to actually lightly tack this down. Let's trim this so I know it's centered. Okay. We'll just lightly tack this down here. And then I'm going to add a foam square in each one of these circles, because I do want a little bit of dimension. Okay, and then I'll remove the release paper. And then I can line up each one of my letters right over that existing place here. And then we'll add our last one. Okay, and then I can just remove that negative piece carefully. Each one of my letters are popped up. Now all of my letters are perfectly positioned. If you need to adjust one or two, that's great, but they're evenly spaced. And now all we have to do is take our epoxy shapes. I like to keep the plastic cover over the top. It just protects it because these can scratch. And then I just take one and layer it right over the letters. Give it a good press. Since I have foam tape there, I can secure the foam tape and secure the epoxy shape to the die cut. I just love the way these look. Give it a good press with your thumb and look at how pretty these are. Just jewelry for your card. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to take this panel. I'm going to add some adhesive behind here. And then I'm going to tack this down right over this border here, centering it. Now after we have that done, I'm bringing in some black and white baker's twine. And I'm going to add some twine here. In our sticker sheet we have a basket. We're going to add some foam tape behind here. And then I'm going to use some powder and remove the tackiness from my sticker. Okay, and then I can remove the release paper of my sticker here. We're going to add this in this bottom corner here. I'm also going to add one of these little chickies. We'll put a foam square behind here also. We'll add it to this bottom corner. And I think I'm going to add a couple eggs over here also. Let's add a few eggs to our little scene. Wonderful. And that will finish off my first card. Now we're going to move along to our second card project. For my next card, we have this pattern paper. This measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. We're going to adhere this to the front of our card. And again, this will leave a little bit of a border, kind of framing our images here. And then with this plaid piece of paper, this is where our nested tags come in. I'm going to take the second from the largest, and I'm going to cut out a tag with this. I'll do that and I'll be right back. I always like to doctor up my tags. To do that, I'm bringing in a white eyelet, and I'm just going to add it through the whole of my tag here. And then using my Crop-A-Dile, we'll secure it. And then I'm bringing in that same black and white baker's twine, and we are going to thread it through our tag and tie a bow at the very top. I'm going to flip this over. We're going to put some foam tape behind here, and then I'm going to tack this directly in the center of my card base here. Next, I have a strip of white cardstock. What we're going to do is create a banner with this, and I'm going to fishtail the left and the right. And then I'm going to add some adhesive behind here, and I'm going to tack this right across the bottom of my card. Next, we're going to use this pattern paper. It's the reverse side is the gingham, and I had already, when I trimmed this down to a 1 1/4 inch strip. Now, what I had did was taken the tag die that we used for this, and I ran this through my die cut machine, so I have stitch detail on the left and the right. I wanted my stitching to be continuous on my tag, and that's a great way to do it. Now I have two circles, okay? One of them I created with our green pattern paper, and then I have one slightly smaller I cut out with white cardstock. I just used my circle dies to do this. I'm going to layer both of these together, and this is where we're going to bring in our dice paper. And we're going to use one of the larger circles here. I thought the one with the bunny would be really cute on this card. So what we're going to do is take the coordinating die, and I'm going to cut out this cute little bunny. Now I'm going to take this, I am going to put some foam tape behind here, and I'm going to pop it up on these circles. We'll just tack this down, and then I can take the epoxy shapes, and then we can just layer this right over the top, and look how pretty that is. So pretty. So it's overhanging just a little bit. Once we have this adhered, I'm going to actually trim out Spring into Joy in our dice paper. And then that can be our greeting for this card. Okay, but I'm also going to bring in some stickers. So let's bring in our sticker sheet. In our sticker sheet, we have this beautiful bouquet. And I'm going to take this and put some foam tape behind here. And then I'm going to add my bouquet, kind of tucking it underneath my epoxy shape. We'll add this to our tag. And then I'm going to add my greeting right over the top here. We have some butterflies I think we're going to add. We'll fluff up those butterfly wings, which I did pop up with some foam tape, and then I used my powder to remove the tackiness, so we have a little flutter, and that will finish off my second card. So here's a look at both cards that we made today using the Photoplay Papers Easter Sunday 12x12 collection pack. Hope this gives you some ideas on your Easter cards. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.